Hello everyone, my name is Melanie Dell, and I'm going to present to you two book talks today. My display's theme is Books You Will Love If You Liked the Movie Epic. Since this movie was created by William Joyce, a prolific children's author and illustrator, most of the books on my display feature his eclectic work. My book talks will focus on two of his works, which contrast in both their style and their target age group. So, can you imagine your beloved Santa Claus as anything other than the jolly, chubby, kind, old, gift-giving fellow that he is? Well, William Joyce doesn't quite see him like that. In the fast-paced children's fantasy book Nicholas St. North and the Battle of the Nightmare King, Joyce reimagines Santa Claus as a knife-wielding, thieving young rapscallion, part of a band of outlaws. I'm going to read you a passage about this Santa Claus in just a minute, but first I want to give you an idea of what the book is about. Overall, it features an epic battle between good versus evil. When the evil king Pitch escapes from prison, he brings nightmares to all the children on Earth. So it's up to Nicholas St. North, a little girl and boy, and a wizard to defeat the evil king and bring back pleasant dreams to all the children. What's great about this book is that it's quite funny. For instance, no one likes to go to bed, right? Well, the children in this book devise ways to trick their parents so they don't have to go to sleep. For instance, they disguise themselves as statues, or they hide in the paintings on the walls, or they paint themselves to look like stars in the sky and then hide on top of the trees. Quite funny. I'm going to read you the passage about Santa Claus, or as William Joyce calls him, Nicholas St. North, to give you more of an idea of his humor. Later that night, in the raggedy camp of the wildest ruffians of the Russian plains, there slept a young bandit chief named Nicholas St. North. No one knew exactly how old he was, for even he did not know his birthday. But he was old enough for the beginnings of a beard, and was without argument the most daring young rascal in all the Rushes. A hero he was not. But he was said that he once defeated an entire regiment of cavalry with a bent steak knife while he was eating. Impressive swordsmanship indeed, but not the kind of achievement that would make a mother proud. North had no mother or father or family that he could remember. He had never been tucked into bed. He had never known the safety of a home or the tenderness of a mother's embrace, nor the happy camaraderie of a father's company. His boyhood was spent in the wilds, aware of himself only as both predator and prey. There are skills that develop when one grows up forgotten and wild. Keen eyes, light steps, impossible quickness. These skills would become North's native tongue. That and a preternatural sense of where danger lies. As a boy, he fled from that feeling, but as he grew older, he pursued it. Trees produce growth rings for each birthday, but North had no way to mark the time that had passed. He was somewhere in his teens, though, when he was taken in by the Cossacks, the most savage tribe of warriors in the Russian Empire. Soon North became their greatest fighter. With dirk, dagger, or pistol, he was matchless. They taught him their language, and then he charmed them out of rations, supplies, and common sense. It would be logical to assume that a taste of civility, if one can call the Cossacks civil, would tame the lad, but North remained just as wild. Only now, having learned from these warriors, he was more cunning, powerful, and well-fed. Still, along with all these dubious qualities, there came a ready smile. Life is made up of danger and heartbreak, he'd boast. I laugh in the face of both. Yet for all his humor and charm, North thought of no one but himself, caring only for the thrill of battle and the pursuit of treasure. But Cossacks were, at heart, a cruel bunch, and North, even with his meager moral outlook, could not abide their disregard for human life. And so he left the Cossack Brotherhood to become a bandit, the most notorious in Europe. Never caught and always at the ready, he and his ragtag band of outlaws had plundered half the wealth of the continent. But the money never lasted long. They gambled and wasted it away almost as quickly as they stole it. What a surprising new take on our beloved Santa Claus. So do you think he's going to end up as a good guy or remain a bad guy in the book? What's really fun are Joyce's illustrations scattered throughout, which will give you an idea of what this world is like. First, here is St. Nicholas North himself wielding 2 pistols. And then imagine turning the page and seeing this. They look like the Dementors from Harry Potter, right? They're actually called fearlings, and they're the ones who visit children in the night and give them nightmares. And then finally, here's a double-page spread that shows you the amount of detail that Joyce puts into his work. He shows all the different types of weapons used by the Yeti, a creature in this book. As you might have guessed from the passage that I read you, there are a lot of big words in this book, such as camaraderie, preternatural, and dubious. There's also a lot of heavy themes on good versus evil, as well as the scary illustrations. So I would say that this book is best for the ages of 9 to 13 or middle schoolers. However, I will say that whoever reads this book will find it very hard not to get immediately wrapped up in Joyce's fantasy world. And they'll also take away the valuable lessons that anyone can become a better person, and that even the smallest creatures have the ability to fight and overcome evil. If you wind up really liking this book, be sure to check out the 2 other titles in this Guardian of Childhood series, and that would be Toothiana, Queen of the Tooth Fairy Armies, which I have right here, and E. Asterbunimund and the Warrior Eggs at the Earth's Core. Now we're going to shift from fantasy worlds to futuristic robots. So, what do you think life is like in the day of a robot? Maybe it's surprisingly similar to your own life. For instance, simply waking up and eating breakfast. Or dancing all day with your family. Or maybe you just do chores all day. Or perhaps you enjoy the outdoors and play outside. Or maybe you avoid bed. But perhaps maybe it's not like your own life whatsoever, because you don't have to wake up and recharge your head. This picture book, Rolie, Polie, Olie, illustrated and written by William Joyce, will appeal to a younger crowd than Nicholas St. North, but it's still just as fun. Remember how I told you that William Joyce created the movie epic? Well, he also created animated children's TV shows, and one of them was called Rolie, Polie, Olie. Joyce released this book about a year after the first season of Rolie Polie aired. And in it, we are introduced to Olie and his robot family, including his mother, there, his father, his sister, and his dog. You can see they're all very robotic looking. And what's also fun is that throughout the house, there's other robotic things, like this robotic toilet. Although it has a fairly simple plot describing Olie's day, the book will draw you in with its song-like rhythmic text and brightly colored, adorable illustrations. Here's an example. The sun is high, the sky is blue, it's afternoon, there's lots to do. Howdy yard, howdy day, howdy world, come on, let's play. Swash and buckle, skip and glide, bump and bounce and swing and slide. Hide and seek and sneak and peekin', look and find and step inside it. Jump up and up so high, you very nearly Rolie fly. Not too high, said Dad atop the treehouse where he'd gone kerplop. Your Rolie hot and Polie tired, your motors zapped, your pistons fired. Yes, okie dokie is the day when all you Rolie did was play. Hip hip, hip hip hip, hooray. So, there's lots of words that just roll off your tongue and are fun to say, like seekin', sneakin', peekin'. Also, the rhythm makes you want to just get up and move, like Olie and his family. Parents, this book is great for teaching your toddler about the sequential nature of time and encourages them to imagine what someone else's life is like, someone quite different from their own lives. Overall, this is a fun, short, whimsical read and is great for right before bedtime. And that's not it. You can also read Snowy Rolie, Big Time Olie when he doesn't want to grow up, and Sleepy Time Olie. Or you could watch a Halloween-themed episode of the Rolie Polie Olie show. So you can truly envelope yourself in the futuristic robot world that William Joyce has created. Anyway, that's the end of my 2 book talks. I hope you have enjoyed them.